Okay, we're going to transport you a bit this morning, give you a bit of a teaser of a fun event coming up towards the end of September called the Torchlight Gala. It's all to benefit the Audubon Society here in Chattanooga. So we're very happy to welcome back Darlene Carlson. She's the Executive Director for the Audubon Society.
Good morning.
With her is Laura Marsh, who I'm going to call Puck today, but she's on the board of the Audubon Society. So can I join you?
Yes, please.
What are you calling these? A nature wreath?
These are our nature crowns.
Crowns.
I've been using upcycled and recycled materials. I tried to get some things from nature and preserve them. It's a lot harder than it.
Peer pressure. We're all going to wear one.
I was going to wait, but okay.
I think I might take mine off just so I don't make it fall on the floor.
Oh, I love
it. What y'all are doing, Darlene, is at the end of September, the 22nd, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to be at the Hunter. What a beautiful venue. And it's a fundraiser for you.
It is a fundraiser. And it overlooks one of our signature properties, MacLellan Island.
Okay, that's something that people don't realize. And you and I have had this conversation, but each Audubon Society is its own independent society. So they're not all about bird watching.
Correct.
Y'all are big on land conservation, is that right, Laura?
We have a big focus on birds as well, but that's true. A lot of the Audubons are focused on birds. Our Chattanooga Audubon Society has been around since before National Audubon existed, and we just kind of got lumped in with them. We've been around since 1914. Chattanooga is the oldest nature preserve, and we've done so much good work just protecting and preserving the wildlife and nature sanctuaries around town, especially MacLellan Island. And so this event is going to be at the Hunter Art Museum. We'll overlook MacLellan Island right in the center of downtown. It's a jewel. I don't know if you've ever driven over it or seen it, but right now it's overrun with invasive species. There's so much work that needs to be done, and one of the things I'm learning about land management for me is it's so expensive. It is very hard to make effective change. So when it comes to preserving land the way that it needs to be preserved, it takes a lot of effort and time. And that's because people, sadly, have introduced species that take over. So we have a lot of privet, Japanese honeysuckle, there's invasive species like euonymus climbing up the trees on MacLellan Island.
But how did it get there? It just drifted in from the water?
So, yeah, sometimes it drifts in from water, air, and a lot of times these plants are not native, so they establish and then they have no natural predators in these ecosystems. So many times humans have to do the work to restore the ecosystems back to healthy functioning.
And sometimes people are taking plants that they don't want anymore and dumping them in the river or in the creeks, and it doesn't kill them, and they float out to a place like MacLellan and thrive there.
Okay, so a couple of things. At the Torchlight Gala at the Hunter, are the proceeds from the gala going to go towards those efforts to kind of clean up, if you will, MacLellan Island?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there are plenty of people who are probably going to be looking at this though and thinking, wait a minute, I know MacLellan Island, it just sits there in the middle of the river and nobody, quote, uses it anyway, and you can't, that's, people are going to think that way. So the value of cleaning it up for all of us is what?
Right. So we want to be able to use it the way that's most effective for the community. So like I said, it's overrun right now, and it takes a lot of energy and money. I mean, so we have plenty of volunteers. Lots of people want to help clean up the island or get rid of the invasive species, but to organize and to plan and to have a land management process, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So if it can, when it is cleaned up, I won't say if, when it's achieved the way you want it to be, then is the hope that people can more easily access the island and canoe over and enjoy it?
Well, on the weekends, it gets a tremendous amount of use from the paddle community here. And we are also getting ready to put a series of educational signages on the path that is there. And if people don't know it, it's good to know that there are composting toilets out on that island. If you are paddling, you got something there that you can use.
We have a friend here at the station, and she and her husband do a lot of that. They're big canoers, and that's their favorite place to go. I think that's what she's told me is MacLellan.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize that it is owned and managed by Chattanooga Audubon Society. So it's right in the heart of downtown.
Right.
I've actually done an undercover espionage trip over there, and I've kind of asked people, who owns this island? Do you know who runs and manages it? And most people people think it's the city or the National Park Service or something.
Right.
Nope, it's our small nonprofit, Chattanooga Audubon.
Well, and the thing, if you've not been to Audubon Acres, and I'm sorry, but if you've got a kid in school for the last 30 years, there's no way they haven't taken a field trip to Audubon Acres. But it's much larger, I think, than people realize. How many acres do you have, Darlene? Do you know?
We have a total of 450.
Okay.
Our largest property is up in Sail Creek. That is 300 acres, and it's pristine. But Audubon Acres, which is off of Gun Barrel Road, the quiet side of Gun Barrel, is where most of we are doing a tremendous amount of educational programming right now for people to learn so much different things.
We want you to go to the Torchlight Gala, and you too can have a nature crown, and they'll have a fun picture wall where you can go and photo booth area. But the place to get your tickets is on the Audubon Society website. Is that right? Which we're going to go ahead and show you.
ChattanoogaAudubon.org.
And spell it with a U, AUDUBON.org.
That's correct.
September 22nd, 7 to 10 at the Hunter.
Yes, and I'll be your host here.
And when you go to the Audubon Society, Audubon Acres, watch for the turkeys on the road.
Buy more, save more.